Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short. And it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, 2-run shot to right.
Well, for the first time in 2.5 weeks, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting is on the air. We bring you live coverage of the RCSJ-Cumberland Dukes and the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners from a sunny Rowan Soccer Complex, one of the best soccer pitches in all of D3 in the Northeast, right here in the heart of Gloucester County in Glassboro. It's the 2025 South Jersey Derby, the annual matchup between RCSJ-Cumberland and RCSJ-Gloucester. Just a standalone event this year, no doubleheader. Instead, just one matchup between Cumberland and RCSJ, with the Dukes in the navy blue and the Roadrunners in their home white. This is treated as a home game for RCSJ-Gloucester, who last year finished 11-5-2 and had a deep playoff run heading towards the national tournament. Meanwhile, RCSJ-Cumberland had 4-9-2 as their overall record and only played one out-of-region game all season. So we'll have to see what these two have to spare, but Gloucester will be looking for their 5th straight Derby Cup win. They won in menacing fashion last year with a score of 8-2. As let's take a look at the weather for tonight's game presented by Gray Fox Sports. The weather is never gray when you hire Gray Fox Sports for your sports photography. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter for more information on how to reserve Michael Taylor for your bookings. It's 76 degrees at first kick this evening from Glassboro. Humidity 40%, wind blowing 9 miles per hour to the east and northeast. So just getting ready to go here, just a couple minutes behind schedule, but you know what? It's always fun to kick off a new season. We haven't had any kind of life in the booth around here for a little while now, but we get the chance to return to the pitch. We get the chance to return to glory here from RCSJ, or from the, I guess you could say, the parent campus of both of these schools, RCSJ-Cumberland and RCSJ-Gloucester from Glassboro. Here we go. We're getting ready here for the first game of the 2025 regular season for RCSJ-Gloucester and Cumberland here in the South Jersey Derby. Roadrunners looking to win their 5th straight in this special event. From the turf field, standing over the Prof's left eye here in Glassboro, we'll get ready to go. Whistles blow and we're underway here in Glassboro. Cutting out to the right side, it is headed back again by a Gloucester defenseman back there. Cumberland with the first solid possession, though. Already driving it towards the goal. Kevin Wall will come in and scoop it up. The sophomore goalkeeper, Kevin Wall, who didn't see too much action this past season, shadowing Brandon Martinelli, the former goalkeeper out of Lindenwald. Another little trip that time. Cumberland player goes down, and now it is fielded by number 10, Charleston Bluebird. Here comes another shot to the right side, flailing out, and a straightaway shot there. That gets speared away. Looks like by number 0, Shane Graham. It looks like in goal for Cumberland. Tipped a couple of times as it just got past the foot of number 20, Renee Barragan. Now this one's tipped up right around midfield, brought down by the Roadrunners, and tipped up in the direction of Braden Burnsteel. Goes back off the left foot of Gavin Reamer now, and out to the right defenseman, number 14, Noah Pagan, who comes into his second season with the Roadrunners as a Shore Conference grad out of Matawan. Still rolling up the right side here. Cumberland looking to interject here in the first 2 minutes of this one. And brought back out a lot of space for that Cumberland attacker there, who ends up getting tripped up. Right in the middle there is number 11. Looks like Badahan O'Nowell, who comes from Cumberland Regional. I think one of the differences between this Cumberland and Gloucester team is truly how regional the two programs are. When you look at Cumberland's roster, it's maybe 80% comprised of Cumberland County graduates. That includes schools like Vineland, Cumberland Regional, Bridgeton being one of them. Out to the left side, Cumberland looks to save it and keep it in play. And they will. That's number 20 for the Roadrunners, Elijah Cummings, sophomore out of Shallock. And now Cumberland interjects. They've got room in the open field over towards the middle. Oh, it goes past the right side of O'Nowell. And now the Roadrunners trying to get another shot again. Goes up to Justin Lewis, who rolls up the left side. Kagan Cease up there, unable to make a play though, and it'll go out of bounds. To be thrown in by the freshman Cisse, a local product out of Clearview. Cummings trying to interject that time, unable to do so. Now Cumberland with a clean possession. Here comes John Young, who gets that one flicked out towards the right side, deflects it to Cameron Borger. Again, another second year that we're familiar with out of Washington Township. But like we were saying, even though Cumberland is a good chunk of Cumberland County players, you do see a lot of out-of-county players for Gloucester this season. Josue Ramos, a goalkeeper, not the starting goalkeeper today, but he is a graduate of Gloucester City High School. Not to mention Owen Vinamarte out of Rancocas Valley in Burlington County. And then two international products out of South Africa, Charleston Bluebird and number 11 in Gobo. This will be taken in by Cumberland's number 24, Dom Russell out of Williamstown. Over towards the far flag. First Cumberland player on that was Joe Santiago. Of course, Cumberland Regional might be happy about some of these players being on the Dukes. Of course, we know their head coach, Gene Thomas, fairly well. Also an assistant for Cumberland Regional Baseball, led by Kyle Daddario. Right side, Cumberland looking to get their first shot on goal of the night. And they'll go out of play. Over the head of Santiago, back to the defenseman Anthony Bova, a Cape Atlantic grad of Hamilton. Back to Burnsteel, gets blocked. Tried to slide a shot over towards the right, towards Wall's direction, but unable to do so. But still, good ball control by Burnsteel. and a slide and a deflection out of play. So we're going to have our first corner of the night, and it's going to go to Braden Burnsteel. So Burnsteel, a second-year player out of Cumberland Christian. He'll get a chance to try to put the Dukes on the board here in the early going here from Rowan University. Let's see what he's got. Good curve on it, but it is deflected. No problem for Cisse that time. And they're going to let it go and let Kevin Wall take over there. Again, Wall, the starting goalkeeper for tonight after most of the season was started by the Lindenwald goalkeeper, Brandon Martinelli. But still Cumberland keeping it close. They let one go by, and he scores! Right side, it looked like that one belonged to Wyatt Hand, who buries it in the far corner, and Cumberland takes a 1-0 lead. Quite different to how last year's game started out. And Cumberland scores in the 6th minute, and they're up 1-0 here early. Play resumes in a 1-0 Cumberland game. And, of course, with last year's men's game between these two, which was played at Cumberland County Tech right off of the RCSJ-Cumberland campus, ended it with an 8-2 Roadrunners win. Now, that game saw both the men and women's team facing off in a doubleheader. Today's game, for a multitude of reasons, is a standalone event, as that one is kicked well up and over towards the ball handlers on the far side. But the main point is that the women won that game 1-0, a first half ending Berry goal. Here comes another shot to the right, deflected by the Cumberland defenseman. And another save that time, and avoiding some extracurriculars after the play. This should be a corner here for the Roadrunners. This will be taken by number 10, Charleston Bluebird, out of New Germany, South Africa, and out of a network of high schools called Redham House, which is a private network of high schools in South Africa. He is one of 2 South African products internationally to join the Roadrunners for the 2025-26 school year. Here goes Bluebird. See if he can take some flight this time. It does not go, but it's headed down by Cumberland. It's headed down by number 11, O'Neill. And no cigar that time, as that one went into the hands of the Duke's goalkeeper, Graham. Bova to kick, right on the white line, sends it out to the right side for Cumberland. And sends his talents over to Austin Donato of Vineland. Led by head coach Paul Myers, of course, a friend of the show. Heading out towards midfield. That one was taken by Noah Pagan again. Right side, back to Pagan. Inside of the prof circle, sends it out to the left side, and it's picked up by Cisse. Again, the Clearview product. Now this one rolls out to Lewis. Gets slid into there, and a good stop by Cumberland by Austin Donato. And I believe, and it looks like we will have a corner from the near side now. One 0 Dukes as we get prepared to enter the 10th minute of this game. Got a little bit too much distance on it, but Cumberland will regain the possession. Out on the far left side, guarded by Borger. Now brings it over to midfield for number 5, Joe Santiago. He falls, and whistle flies. Making sure they got the ball placement set up properly. Now it's going to be Burnsteel again. And they'll chase that one out of bounds. Let's take a look at that replay from the first goal scored by Wyatt Hand of Middle Township. Let's take a look right here. So he gets himself a good opportunity, and this is just one of those situations where you whiff. Couldn't get a good placement on it, and then Hand just gets right through him, one-on-one with Wall, shoots it through the right side. That's where you have our first goal of the night. Again, your instant replay presented by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. And if you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. Wall will send this one out. Tips it to the right side. A little bit slow moving there, but able to get some height on it. Now the Roadrunners have to hang on to the possession as they trail towards the left, and they get towards midfield again. Tipped out to Cisse. And another passionate defensive effort there by Donato. Still keeping the possession in. Now reaching over, unable to get a clean shot off there, and Cumberland turns it over. Burnsteel again, some great ball handling there. A collision right around the circle, gets past everybody, got past Santiago, got past, it looked like the Roadrunners number 14, Pagan again. And that one will roll right past the corner flag on the far side of the field. We've got 4 games for this weekend for DWB opening football weekend here in 2025. We kick off the 2025 fall season with a matchup right on the 322 corridor and not too far from Rowan University. We've got the Cumberland Colts and the Clearview Pioneers with the first game in Mike Wilson's tenure as head coach, coming over from Shalleck. The Group 1 organization going to the Group 4, going from small to big, as he debuts versus Cumberland at 7 p.m. on Thursday. Then we've got a doubleheader on Friday for our first Friday Night Lights game of the year, except our first Friday game will be 11 a.m. between the Clayton Clippers and the Collingswood Panthers at 11 a.m. And then at 7 p.m., hold on here, got a chance to the right side. It's up, and it is away. They'll try to chase it so that it doesn't go out. They are able to do so. Cumberland retains the possession. And now it goes back to the defenseman, Pagan. Left side, that got to Cummings that time. Again, the second-year product out of Shalleck. Cumberland trying to advance. Burnsteel again finds himself over the middle, but runs into a wall of Roadrunner defenders. And it'll go out to the far side. But as we were saying, we have Clayton and Collingswood at 11 a.m. on Friday, and then Friday Night Lights from the Shore Conference. South River Rams versus the Point Pleasant Beach Garnet Gulls, right next to the shoreline on Friday, August 29th at 7 p.m. We close out that 4-game weekend with the Paulsboro Red Raiders and the Penns Grove Red Devils in Salem County, 12 noon on Saturday. Out to the right side for the Roadrunners. That one got a good tip from number 6, Gavin Reamer, out of Delsea Regional, and unable to go. That one goes to the right side of the net. In the 14th minute here, Cumberland got their first goal on a nice one-on-one matchup with Wyatt Hand. This will again be sent out by Bova. Get some good height on it. Will land just shy of midfield as Pagan heads it before it hits the ground. Shades to the right. Cumberland intercepts that time, and they're able to keep the possession. Some really good work by their defensemen this year and in this first 15 minutes to keep this one going. So there is a number 6 on their roster, however, not on the one we have online available to us. Trails out to the far side that time. This will be a corner taken by Bernsteel. Again in the 15th minute. Took a little while to get the shot off, but it is headed, and it hit off of Kevin Wall, but they whistled it dead before the play could advance. So Wall will send this one away, and actually he's going to – no, he will send it away. It looked like he was going to send it to Pagan for a second, but they'll set this one up. One right, one left of the goalkeeper, Wall. Again, the graduate and three-sport athlete at Gloucester High. Played soccer, played basketball, and played baseball for Gloucester City. As that one goes out of play, and a little bit of falling after the whistle. This will be sent from the yellow line by Elijah Cummings. Keeps it on the ground to the right. Pagan is there. Takes it himself right to around midfield, and now lets this one fly over the middle, headed off of a Cumberland defender. Unable to get too much on it. Now Bluebird, 2-on-1, tries to work through the traffic, still has the possession, and unable to get it, although Cumberland does send it out of play. It looked like that was going to be a lot worse news for the Dukes. As again, the freshman, Charleston Bluebird, I feel like we're going to be hearing his name a lot throughout the regular season. As this, again, the season opener, the formal season opener for both of these teams. Last year's event of this caliber was played on September 17th of 2024. And again, due to what we presume to be a scheduling conflict at Rowan, last year's doubleheader was held at Cumberland County Tech. A very nice complex, don't get me wrong, but there's something about the neutrality of playing a game at Rowan University that really enhances the experience. As that one is headed out and off of a whole bunch of things down beyond the grandstands in the seating area here. Last year, of course, the season opened with Camden County versus RCSJ over at Rutgers Camden. Tipped by Pagan. Tried to get a little bit of back foot work there, unable to do so. This one to be thrown in by number 17, Austin Donato again of Vineland. Talked about Paul Myers before and some of the better Cumberland County coaches out there that have contributed to this Dukes program who are looking to improve from a 4-win campaign, 4-9-2 overall for the Dukes in 2024. Another corner to be hit by Bernsteel. Keeps it on the ground. Oh, a diving Wall, unable to get it. Now you've got a foray of feet into the fire, and Kevin Wall comes up with it to keep this game at a 1-goal score. Just fantastic stuff there. I mean, we talk about crashing the net in hockey. Well, in soccer, that same philosophy kind of applies. When he goes for that corner shot there, nobody really knew what was going to happen, and you can't really fire up a shot when you're just standing there. You don't have any momentum into your foot unless you have a really strong leg. So the way that I see it there was that actually played to Wall's advantage because he could really control where it went and eventually went right into his hands for the save. Otherwise, a good corner there by Donato. Kind of have to give credit where it's due, but this one's up. It'll stay in play for Cumberland. Over to the left side, a little bit of contact there. Lewis going over. Again, guarded by that number, that's actually number 9. That being Oscar Hernandez, another Shalleck product. That one's up, and it's a dime for a goal. Game tied. They do their little namaste circle in the corner. And this score will not namaste at 1-1. It will go to a tie game here. So we are tied. Yeah, we're trying to get confirmation on who scored the goal. That will be number 19, Braden Jacobson, out of Green Bay West High School in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he ties this game in the 20th minute. Almost hit the crossbar on that one. I mean, that was a good, that's just called good offense right there. Overpowered the goalie, made him pay. Tipped over on the attempt by Matt Lilia out of Buna. We'll be covering Buna Regional High School football on Thursday, Thursday, September 11th versus Kip Cooper, one of the new charter schools in Camden. 6 p.m. kickoff for that game. That one will roll just beyond Kevin Wall to the left post. Wall, again, out to the right for Pagan. Takes his time, guarded by Burnsteel, or I should say, having Burnsteel charge near him. Now it's back to Cummings. Has space, and he has some time. Lets it fly over the left side. Headed down by Joe Santiago. And that looks like it's number 30, Filippo Suarez, out of Eastern Regional. And a little bit of a flailing kick there. But it is saved by Cumberland. Let's take a look at that replay presented by Harper Driving School of that second goal of the game. Just a beauty that time from, again, number 19, Braden Jacobson, the freshman out of Green Bay West in Wisconsin. So that's the goal that tied the game as, again, still rolling here at Rowan University. It is a fantastic Tuesday night, hovering right around 75 degrees. Couldn't be better weather. And I think about when we eventually cover a playoff game or a late season game at the end of October, we're going to be thinking, where did we go wrong? But that's where we are right now. It's 75 degrees. It's the last week of August. It's the last week before class starts for these kids, supporting their teammates today and also the players on the field themselves. It's the Jersey model, starting their classes after Labor Day. Sent away by Cumberland. This one sails well over midfield, headed by Cummings. And works through the traffic on the right side. Again, looks like that goes back to Cisse here. That one goes up. Almost a collision in goal. But it is saved again by Shane Graham, the Cumberland goalkeeper. Left side. Burnsteel makes a collision with Cummings. A little bit slow to get up, but he seems to be okay. Kind of went in right at the hip. And that's out of play right on the substitution line. This broadcast is brought to you by Gray Fox Sports. Want to enhance your content or looking for high-quality photos and or videos? That's easy. Get in contact with us today. For quotes, reach out to our Instagram at Gray Fox Sports and feel free to visit our website at grayfoxsports.net. Of course, those of you who are familiar with RCSJ-Gloucester should be very familiar with our new sponsor, Gray Fox Sports. But that was, that one's headed out into the trees and into the parking lot. But as we were saying, those of you familiar with RCSJ-Gloucester are very familiar with our newest sponsor, Gray Fox Sports. Of course, that's none other than Michael Taylor, who is a graduate of RCSJ and also a national championship winning track and field athlete here with the Roadrunners. That one's up to Cumberland. Now Santiago's on the run. He's got to catch up with this one before Cummings gets there, and a big slide. Send that one out of play. Gets a rising ovation from the fans to his right. And now Donato will get the kick. We'll have some substitutions while we're at it. A new defenseman coming in for Cumberland, number 27, Jack Schuler out of Pensauken. Some shadows coming over the press box and coming over half of the field here at Rowan. So as the substitutions get settled, we'll have to figure out where this is going to go. And Donato gets the throw off straight away, tipped up, brought back in the air by Pagan, and eventually headed as a bit of a higher kick that time from Donato. Now he regains the possession, tries to shoot through a very small gap with two Roadrunner defensemen, and now that goes past RCSJ-Gloucester, goes out to Cumberland, and again they regain the possession. Sliding effort to stop Cumberland's advancement, and gets past Schuler. Cisse is there. That last kick went by Christian Romeo, one of the new substitutions in the game, and that one will go well to the right, out towards Romeo, who looks like he's able to save it before it went out on the far side. Referee didn't make any signal. Looked like he kept it in. It was a close call, though. This one is up, and it's away, and knocked down. Fantastic save by Graham that time, as the Williamstown grad able to not only knock the ball down, but keep his composure as he has to dive on a second attempt to keep this game tied at 1. Out to the right side for Gloucester. Again, that was Bluebird in on the play. Bat past Suarez. Here's Cisse. Schuler goes down. Tries to get a left-footed shot that time, no cigar. Oh, that one's good. It was a goal that threw us all off guard, but a header shot right in the right kisser that time will be Christian Romeo. So Romeo comes into the game as a late substitution and now takes the lead for the Roadrunners in the 29th minute. And again, that comes from the new kid from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Green Bay West High School. Graham taking his time. Wow, that one got tipped during the transition by Graham. Schuler guarding Lewis that time. He tries to find some open space on the right side. He's able to find some open space. A collision as a bit of a shoulder drop that time, and we'll have a whistle as Lewis had some trouble that time after getting almost checked by Donato. So here's Keegan Cummings going to try to get or excuse me, Elijah Cummings. He's going to send this free kick away. Look, it's either our first or our second free kick tonight. There haven't been many of them. Kind of picking out his defense here. Everybody's lined up. Referee whistles. And here's the second year Cummings. Right side, headed by Cumberland. And flying in to try to stop that one is Cameron Borger. Pagan unable to field that one cleanly. Goes back to Wall. Sends this one straight away over the middle, right on top of the Prof logo. And then right back to Suarez. Sends it to Cisse. Cumberland still holding on the possession, though, now with Schuler. And a new substitution. It looks like Jesus Ramirez, another Cumberland regional product, as Kevin Wall scoops that one up. Right side, or rather left side for Suarez, blocked by number 20, Rene Barragan. They will say that one was out of play. Headed by Schuler, right side. And out of play. It'll be another throw for Donato. By the way, we appreciate the shout out from Paul Myers, tuning in tonight. This one's popped up. Whoa, how about that for Kevin Wall? Able to dive to his left that time and save it. Had a lot of movement to it, but he's able to save it. Cisse to throw it in. Again, it's interesting seeing some products that are, that's the thing about JUCO, is that you find a lot of local products on your teams, but then you also find a lot of players, or at least a good chunk of them, from far, far away. Last year there was a player on the Roadrunners men's team who was from Miracosta, California. And we're going to have we'll have to see there, but it'll be Cisse throwing it back in. Cumberland originally threw it in, but the ref said, none of that, thank you. So a handful of substitutions coming in, and a notable one coming out is Donato. Cumberland will be subbing in Stephen Huerta. Again, another Cumberland Regional product. We'll be covering Cumberland Regional Soccer on Monday, October 6th in a matchup between the Highland Tartans and the Cumberland Colts down at Cumberland Regional High School. It's always a fantastic place to be. We'll be there at 4 o'clock from the Cumberland soccer pitch that night. While we have this little stoppage, let's take a look at that save from Kevin Wall from just a few minutes ago. It was a good throw in, and the ball had a lot of movement to it, and it just ended up, I don't know how else to describe it, but you could see that movement there. It almost just corkscrewed out to the right. Wall is able to dive and save it. And again, that's your Dan Wilkins Broadcasting replay presented by Harper Driving School. Right side for Cummings. Guarded heavily by Cumberland's number 6. Back to Wall, who's got to guard this one hastily to the right. This one will go back out. And whistles fly here with approximately 12 minutes, looks like, left in the first half. Two to 1 Gloucester in the late stages of the first half. Off the chest, and now back to Cumberland. Schuler's got a chance on the front lines, and it goes out to the right side of Wall. Out of play. Don't forget to tune in for our first high school soccer game of the year on Monday, September 8th, in a Burlington County clash between the Northern Burlington Greyhounds and the Delran Bears. Two longtime legacies in the BCSL squaring off that day. 4 o'clock from, quote, the Den, home of the Bears. Monday, September 8th. Good ball onto the left side that time. Roadrunners trying to break through. And saved by Cumberland's last line of defense. It's back to Schuler, who ends up corking one off of the foot of Cummings. Now it's back to Suarez. Cuts it out to the left side for Owen Vinamarte. Popped up by Cumberland and right onto the sideline towards their staff and their athletic director, J.D. DiGiacomo. Out of play again. Borger has it, right side for Bluebird. Spinning out to the left, got a lot of space created on the offensive front that way. Another tip off of Suarez. A slide, ball pops loose. Goes back to the Roadrunners. Now Schuler goes into the fire. Comes up for Ramirez. And it backspins right to him off his chest. Again, some heavy defense, a lot of contact. Rolls out to the left side, or rather out to the right for Graham, who comes in and saves it. For just joining us, this is the 2025 Derby Cup between the RCSJ-Cumberland Dukes and the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners, as we'll have contact and a whistle. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, you can drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. And also, if you want to be a part of this broadcast crew, if you are a Rowan College of South Jersey student entering the fall of 2025, join the RCSJ student worker crew and be able to, or I should say the broadcast crew, and be able to work on games, commentate games, and be able to advance your career in the sports broadcasting field. You can reach out to any of our platforms on social media at RC Roadrunners for more information on how to get involved and how to get yourself on the air as a Roadrunner. Right side. Romeo held on to it, and it goes out of play again. This one is up, and this one will land right near the porta-johns out there. Thought that was going to land in the trees, protecting the Glassboro commuter parking lot. That parking lot is going to fill up very fast in the next couple of days with Rowan move-in starting out this week. The Rowan Boulevard is going to be lively again, and the dog days of summer will be over as that one goes to the right side. Right side for Gloucester. It was stopped out on the right wing at a good defensive stand that time from number 24, Dom Russell. Another Williamstown product. Wow, a little bit of friendly fire that time. Cumberland gets it back, right side, number 7. Unable to get there. It bangs off of one of the fences on a powerful shot by Alan Lopez, and it goes out of play. Lopez has it. And sent out a play by hand. That one is sent up. Kept in the air on the header by Bova. Again, the Cape Atlantic product out of Hamilton High School. And a firing shot on the ground. Wall unable to get it, but it misses to the left anyway. So no trouble on either side. That's been one of the things that's been interesting about this year's contest. Of course, if you watch the replay from last year's game between these two in mid-September, which was at Cumberland County Tech, the final score was 8-2, but there was a lot of extracurriculars in the final 20 or so minutes of that game. Haven't seen any inklings of that yet, but I'm glad that it hasn't become an issue yet, and I don't even have any wood to knock on here. So we'll have to see if the words come back to bite me. But this has been a good match so far. 2-1 Gloucester leads, with the most recent goal coming off of, looked like it was I believe Braden Jacobson who had the last one. Might have been Romeo. Good crowd on hand as well for a Tuesday night opening match of the year. I would say that this crowd is arguably better than what we had for Gloucester and Camden last year at Rutgers Camden, the opening match of the season. But it's a beautiful night here in Glassboro. Folks getting acclimated to the college atmosphere before their school year starts. And that corner kick went well over everybody's head. Just a handful of minutes left in the first half. Cummings is there, lines one to the right side. It's tipped up and off of the Cumberland defender, O'Neill. And Gloucester still to the right side. Headed and then batted off the foot of Huerta. And another header by Huerta, getting a lot of action here late in the first half. Another liner splits through the Roadrunner defense, got past Pagan, and also got past through Borger. So just got past everybody that time, and a mistake like that could definitely cost them, with Cumberland now getting a shot from the opposite corner. They haven't had any luck from the opposite corner, the one that they're not shooting from, but the one that on the far side that they're going for now has been somewhat successful. Again, this will be taken by Cumberland's number 16, Braden Bernsteel, the second-year product out of Cumberland Christian. We've been saying his name a lot tonight. This one is popped up a little bit short. Now it comes down, a shove in the back. And it got brought down by number 13, Matt Lilia. And they're asking for the clock to be stopped here. They're attending to was just a little discussion there with number 24, Dom Russell. This one is up. A nice little flailing kick there. Got knocked down by Reamer. Cumberland player goes flying, and we're going to stop the clock again. We might see our first show of hands, and we do, for a yellow card. This one's going to be a free kick right over the Profs logo, just shy of midfield. So he'll have midfield and maybe about 1% extra to cover. So it's got some good distance on it. To the left, Wall comes rushing in, and he's able to save it without any further interference. Just about 2 minutes left in the first half, according to the scoreboard here on site. Right side, good ball there. Cumberland regains the possession, still in the box, or in the outer box. Now rolls out to Lopez. Splitting through a 2-on-1 gap that time. Now finding a lot of space on the offensive front. Tries to find Burnsteel. Wall goes in, slides, and stops it. That's the baseball acumen from Kevin Wall helping him right there, the four-year starter at Gloucester City. Being able to slide on a turf like that and being able to make that agile play to his left. Got it a little bit through a dangerous crease, but he's able to keep the play alive and able to keep out of harm's way. Right side, and trouble for Young that time. John Young, the William product. Out to the right of Wall. Stays in possession. And a hit, a whistle. And we'll keep it rolling here in the final minute of the first half. This will be sent away by Cummings over towards midfield. A lot of contact there as they were trying to bring that ball down between Braden Jacobson, and it looked like Santiago was in on that as well. Here comes a shot. Graham, it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead extending goal for Justin Lewis. And it's a 3-1 Roadrunner lead at halftime. That was quite literally in the last second of the first half. The supervisor here at Rowan was counting out from the last 10 seconds, so we had a good idea, and he was able to get it in right in the nick of time. It looked like it just skipped under Graham, the goalkeeper. And the halftime score will be Gloucester, or they're going to let it, they're going to set it back up at midfield. And now they sound the buzzer for the end of the first half. So the score at the end of 45 will be Gloucester 3, Cumberland 1, here on the campus of Rowan University, home of the Profs. The Roadrunners are up 3-1. We'll be right back in just about 15 minutes or so.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Ryan Nutley, who has 3 RBIs so far, is up on deck as here's a fly ball at the center field, going back to the wall. It is gone! 3-run home run, Steve Schaefer. He rockets one out, and it's 9-2. First home run for Schaefer this year, the second hit at home by a Scarlet Raptor. So after the holding call to be 1st and 20, as now rolling out to the right side, he's got a little bit of room to run on a QB rush. He's going to get a first down. There's no flags, and how about this for 61 yards? Anthony Gaetano with a QB rush that works to perfection. He hugs the sideline, and Anthony Gaetano gets the scoring started for the Redhawks at 7-6.
And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around in a tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Jack Mastero, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a double, and a single. Looking to play hero. He's going to line this one into right center field, and that's going to drop. That's going to do it if they don't get a throw down. Mastero's going to second, and Danza's coming home. Sectional champions, Gloucester Catholic. They do it in a walk-off fashion as GC with Mastero playing hero. An unbelievable 2 minutes remaining. 4 fouls on St. Joe's. 1 more and it's a bonus, which would greatly help Gloucester Catholic. The moving straight guard! It's a 1-point game just like that! This place is going nuts! And now a drive to the basket by Spross. He lays it up and lays it in. St. Joe's has 2 timeouts remaining. Gloucester Catholic still has 3. Here we go. Mastero pulls up. He goes for 3. 6 points. Jack Mastero has tied the game with 90 seconds remaining. How will the Wildcats respond with a miss of... BB and Copsetta trading a couple looks. They know what's going on. Full count. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic 26th annual. They are back on top for the first. Launches one foul. See, Mastero's doing us a service here. Or excuse me, D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro's doing us a service here. He's letting us have this conversation by having a long at-bat. But a lot of people are still caught up in the D1 or bust mentality. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. We'll talk about that later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Clapping it up here for the Roadrunners. 2-2. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! 3-run homer, D'Alessandro! And it's a 1-run game at the crack of the bat, 5-4. 3-run shot to center field. Trailing towards the right center, and the cleanup man does exactly what the position orders, cleaning up. And he does it incredibly well with a 5-4 game. He battles for 11 pitches and makes... Excuse me, Goldberg is a shortstop tonight, but he had a 400 average in 2023 as a junior. A homer in each of his sophomore and junior campaigns, 331 career mark and a 430 career slugging percentage. And speaking of home runs, there's a fly ball to left, and it's gone! Devin Goldberg answers on opening day with a first pitch rocket to left, and it's 1-0 Bridgewater. We were just talking about the long ball, and he stomps on the plate, mobbed at home, and Goldberg, the leadoff man, with a swing of gold. It's 1-0. BB and this is going to bring up Andrew Petrick, who has a single in this game, and here's a fly ball popped up right field side, and it's fair. It's fair. They're going to throw to second for try to get this play, the force out. They got him, but the game is tied. How about it for Woodstown? They complete the comeback to make it 8-8. So now there is 1 out after Kubat let it fall in right. And because the bases were loaded, you know what? That's a very smart play. Late switch for the visitors. Again inside their 5. Oh, they're going to pitch this one back for the flea flicker. Touchdown, West! Oh, my goodness! Taking inspiration from Nick Foles and Trey Burton. I think they just pulled off the Philly special. That is the greatest touchdown I have ever seen. Well, maybe not the greatest touchdown I've ever seen. Maybe that's stretching a little bit, but one of the greatest touchdowns we've seen in a long time. And it's a tie game. We'll lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in game 1. 1-0. That one is hit well out towards left, and it is gone off the top of the goalpost. Shane Adamski with a thunderous start to his playoff series. Second pitch of the game, a solo homer to left, and before I could even write the first name down in my scorecard, it's 1-0.
Welcome back. 1 half down, 1 half to go here at Rowan University. It's 3-1 Gloucester over Cumberland in the 2025 Derby. 2025 Derby Cup, whatever you want to call it, between the Dukes and the Roadrunners. Cumberland got out to a 1-0 lead in the 7th minute, and now 3 unanswered goals have been the Roadrunners' prerogative. And there we go. 45 down, 45 to go. Everybody switches sides, and everybody except for the broadcasters switch sides. Graham with a nice booming kick to start off the tempo. And we've already got a whistle here in the early going of the second half. So we have an answer to our mystery from earlier. Number 6 is Donato Diaz for Cumberland. Joe Santiago gets the kick after the whistle. Here's a good shot, right side. Fades it to the left. Hello! That's a goal for the Roadrunners in the pocket. Just about a minute into the second half, and it's now 4-1. And remember, this is no friendly. This is a regular season sanctioned match. These will count towards regular season standings. This is the opening match of the year for both Gloucester and Cumberland. For the Roadrunners, they have a quick turnaround before their first away game of the year at Montgomery County on August 28th, Thursday. And then they have 3 straight road games at the end of August, trailing into the beginning of September. Montgomery County on the 28th, Mercer County on the 3rd of September after classes begin for the Roadrunners and the Dukes, and then County College of Morris on Saturday, September 6th. So after today, the first true home game for the Roadrunners and the first game at the Roadrunner Athletic Complex will be Tuesday, September 9th versus the Harrisburg Hawks. And then they'll have, so it's kind of funny how it is, 3 straight road games and then 3 straight home games. Harrisburg on the 9th, Northampton on the 13th, and then the Middlesex Colts on the 16th. Good one trailing over the middle. Batted down by Bernsteel. Batted down by Cumberland. By Barragan. And Wall with the save. Bats it up in the air and gets it out of harm's way. So now that it's a 4-1 game, getting a little bit more settled in for the Roadrunners, who, again, in last year's contest, in mid-September last year, won the men's side of the bracket 8-2. So this will be another corner for Bernsteel. Again, Cumberland last year went 4-9-2, only playing 1 out-of-region game all season. Here's Bernsteel. Low hanger that time, and the Roadrunners take over. This one could be a lot. It's a lot of open space for Santiago. Spinning to the right side. Taken in by Pagan. Tipped up. Brought back down. Wall will dive, and he's able to save it to the right side. Was able to get back in that time and try to figure it out for himself with a 3-goal lead. He's trying to keep it that way. And this will be a corner for Cumberland. They also have a road game on Thursday. They play Union in Clark. As that one is tipped up and out of play. Out towards the Rowan softball field. Their home opener will be Tuesday, September 2nd, the day after Labor Day versus Middlesex. And they'll have an interesting situation because they'll have 3 home games in September versus 5 road games. 8 total games, and 5 of them are on the road in September. They've got Raritan Valley, Bergen, and Camden County back-to-back, so they'll have 18 days between home games, then playing on Saturday the 20th versus Morris. And then they'll have 2 more road games versus Delaware County and Ocean County before having their 3rd home game of the year versus Sussex on the 27th. One's up towards the left side. That one kind of stopped in its tracks that time, had a lot of backspin, and now that allows Cumberland to take over the possession as a bit of a misdirect that time. Now Gloucester gets it back. Some really good footwork that time by Cumberland, but unable to keep the possession in their own. Right side shot up and into the parking lot. So here's Graham. Beautiful shot that time, just on top of the Prof logo. Still a possession for Gloucester, but now Cumberland takes it over. Right side, or actually out towards the left this time. And a whistle. Last touched by number 24, Dom Russell. And again, the shadows here in Glassboro starting to completely encompass the field as we approach the 7:20 mark tonight. To the right side and out of play, right towards Cummings. Dropped at midfield. Cumberland trying to work through some heavy traffic here. Gloucester with a slide. Left side, I can't tell who that is over there, but a heavy defense from Cumberland. And they are going to stop the clock, and we are going to have, I believe, a card. And they will play their hand, and it'll be a yellow card, second of the night. That card is against Austin Donato of Cumberland. Looks like that'll be their second yellow card of the day. Free kick will be by Cisse. And here we go. A little fake, a little roll, and just over the crossbar. No cigar that time. I would tell you what time I have, but you can just see on our camera there a very strong sun glare off of the scoreboard here at Rowan. That is a strong, strong glare. we'll have a corner by the Roadrunners. Another little two-step that time, trying to keep it in play as it dances along the white boundary line, but it's out. And Graham will pick this up, whether or not, looks like he'll kick it himself. Whistles go here. I think he jumped the gun a little bit that time. They were waiting for a substitution to come in for Cumberland. They will sub out number 8, Wyatt Hand, who had the first and to this point only goal for Cumberland. And they are now subbing in number 22, Jaden Ammons. No, not number, no, that is number 22.
Hold on 1 second, buddy. Yeah, when it gets darker, I'll turn the lights on right here.
That'll be Stephen Huerta coming in. Thought it was Jaden Ammons for a second, a Pittman grad who we've covered before on DWB. Sends this one on a straight line to Graham, sends it out to Huerta. Now Huerta with another chance. Now Graham, oh, just missed to the left. Oh, man. Maybe missed by a foot, if not less. And Graham didn't have to dive for it. He didn't even have to make a play. It just kind of figured itself out on its own. Right over midfield. That one's looked like a shoulder shot that time. And again, skips past everyone. Cumberland rolling with Barragan, right side, tipped up, Gloucester hanging on, and we've got whistles as a man goes down briefly. That will be Lilia, number 7. Took a second to get up there, but he'll seem to be okay. That one is tipped up and out. Right side for the Roadrunners, going to get another chance here after missing by a foot. Cumberland interjects and send it right on top of the Prof logo. Goes to Wall. Fades over the middle. Back to John Young. Again, a lot of these players familiar with each other. Being in the Gloucester County area, there's a handful of Gloucester County high school grads that are playing for Cumberland. And that one is a hard shot. Hits off the back of at least one player, and the referee stops play right then and there. Again, don't forget, tune in for our first high school soccer showcase of the year and a BCSL talented rematch from last year between the Northern Burlington Greyhounds and the Delran Bears on Monday, September 2nd. Monday, September 8th. Misspoke myself that time. In fact, all of our first 5 high school soccer games of the year will be on Mondays. Northern Burlington and Delran, and then Audubon Pittman on the 15th of September. Clearview at Washington Township on September 22nd. Palmyra at Penns Grove on September 29th. And then Highland at Cumberland on October 6th. We close out the season on Wednesday, October 22nd with Pennsauken and Maple Shade. And then Friday, October 29th, Shawnee versus PVI. Pardon me, that is also a Wednesday, October 29th, before the start of the playoffs. The kick from the sideline there and brought in by Wall, even though it was a strong boot by, again, Badahan Onal of Cumberland Regional. And then it will go out towards the Cumberland sideline. Of course, we know a lot of folks here at Rowan with the Sports Cam program. Jake Clark, of course, a rising sophomore here, has been killing it with his Wilmington Blue Rocks internship with Rowan Radio. Does a fantastic job over there. David Cohen as well in the sports cam program here at Rowan. Not to mention somebody who has yet to make their DWB debut, but is a part of our circle, Luke Brown, out of the Harrisburg area. He'll be making his debut sometime in the fall, as that one is a laser that just missed up and away from Wall. Like we said, if you're a high school or college student interested in getting your chops worked and getting your feet wet in the broadcasting industry, join Dan Wilkins Broadcasting today for a possible internship. We have opportunities in production, in play-by-play, in color commentary, and everything in between, along with camera work and social media production as well. For inquiries, visit our email and send us an email, thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That's in the description of all of our YouTube videos. Because we've got a packed schedule this year, 30-plus football games, if you include potential playoff games and, of course, our 2 Thanksgiving games this year. Graham with a high pop-up there on a nice kick. It gets headed by Barragan. It looks like the glare is finally going behind the broadcast booth, so we should be able to see that scoreboard in a minute or two. It's starting to appear again. Now, of course, this is going to be a busy weekend here in Glassboro, not just with the opening weekend before classes start for the Profs, but also for the Battle of the Beach, that you see at least 7 or 8 games being played across Friday to Sunday with high school talent from all over New Jersey and beyond. Got a hit in the box. Referee says no call. That one will go out of bounds. There is a Cumberland player that is down, he was struggling to bear weight on his left foot. Taking a little while to get out of the box there in front of Wall, but play resumes without interruption. Stops and fires a shot to the left that time. For Gavin Reamer that time, who had a good ball, was able to stop it on a dime and then just load the momentum right into it. Just joining us, it's 4-1, Gloucester over Cumberland in the 2025 Derby Cup. How about this? Tried to flail to get that one in a creative move, but Graham is able to scoop it. And we've got a little bit of extracurriculars with another yellow card being presented. Now the referee asks for the clock to be stopped. He issued the card before he made any signal about it. And that card is going to be presented to Charleston Bluebird, the new freshman for the Roadrunners, again out of New Germany, South Africa. So we are having some substitutions, but now the Roadrunners trainer is coming out to attend to a Cumberland player just in front of Graham's box. So the delay was originally for the yellow card, but now we have a stoppage for an injury. So again, don't forget we have 4 football games scheduled for this weekend, starting out on Thursday, August 28th, between Cumberland and Clearview, and then a doubleheader on Friday. Clayton and Collingswood, and then following that up is a Friday Night Light special between South River and Point Pleasant Beach, and then a Saturday matinee between Paulsboro and Pennsgrove to close out week 0.
Bottom of the first with 2 outs. Yes. Oh, you got it on the game. I was going to play that. Now look at Goose got the game on. Mike was like, yes. Okay. Who's pitching tonight, Coop? Sardo. Less than 4-0 in a minute. Well, he didn't like a call by the umpires, and now his whole head is too much.
So again, a handful of substitutions being made as that Cumberland player walked a little gingerly off the field, was able to do it under his own power, but with a handful of with a little bit of assistance from the Roadrunners athletic trainer. So the clock, when play resumes, will be just under 29 minutes in the second half. That shot got blocked from Donato Diaz that time. He was our mystery player a little bit earlier, and now this one rolls out towards Russell. Oh, look at this. Line drive. Wall able to get there as that ball lost a lot of traction mid-flight. Wall pops it up. Right over midfield. Off the head of Barragan. And now back off the head of Suarez. Finally hits the ground. Again, 4-1 with 27.5 remaining to play in the second half of this one. And Wall is able to take it in without issue. A handful of yellow cards have been issued tonight, 3 total, 2 against Cumberland, 1 against Gloucester and Bluebird.
I got a gift for you. Did you bring back 40? Did you bring back a 40? We're doing this. This is a pass that gets you into all end chapters. That's how I do it. I'll take it. And I'll just take 2 and you got the rest of the batters. No, you're good. They're upstairs. Yeah, well, that's the party going on over there. It's got to be a good one. It's like 33 dudes. One big speaker.
So entering just about the 65th, it looks like. Still waiting on substitutions. Looks like Schuler's coming back in excuse me, in place of Diaz.
Thank you, JD. Absolutely. Since I gave up the, we expect you to go over.
Good little side tap that time. Gets possession back to the Roadrunners, though. And out of play. Powerful throw. A little bit of a side tap again by Cumberland to keep that one in with Joe Santiago. It'll be Barragan this time. Barragan creating some space offensively. Now rolls this out to the left side. Can he get this one ahead? Can he keep it in? Sideline shot. Can't go that time. It's blocked by number 3. Looks like that would be, my apologies, Cam Borger on that one. Sometimes at this point in the game, you blank out sometimes. Here's Burnsteel. Left side. Headed. And that almost was a goal that made it a two-goal game, but instead it hangs on at 3 as Kevin Wall with quick reaction that time. Batted down. And Wall with another block right in front of the post. Able to pick it up without issue. At least the good news earlier, our microphones were picking up some kind of speaker from the sideline. That looks like that's gone now. But could come back at some point, I'm not sure, as we enter the final 25 minutes of play, and that one goes deep into the parking lots of Rowan. Santiago all alone sends it back to Graham. Santiago, a lot of space defensively. Has to find a way to pick it somewhere. Get some more contact going down on the play. Excuse me, that would be Santiago that time, it looked like. Right at midfield, unable to stop it. Now going straight in, Graham is able to get the deflection and it goes out of play. Well, that was a good deflection in the face of adversity that time by Graham. His last line of defense couldn't back him up, and that was how the first Roadrunner goal happened. It was just a one-on-one matchup where, it was how the first Cumberland goal happened. One-on-one matchup where that one line of defense couldn't hang on, and then you've got a attacker and a goalie just squaring face-to-face. And in that situation, Graham was able to prevail, unlike what we saw in the 7th minute of this one when Cumberland struck first. But I believe if I look back at the videotape from last year's matchup between Cumberland and Gloucester at Cumberland County Tech, that it was pretty similar. First goal was scored by Cumberland, and then a litany of goals by the Roadrunners followed. Now, this game is not nearly as lopsided as last year's. It's a 3-goal lead compared to an 8-2 final in the men's game. That doubleheader between Cumberland and Gloucester was played on September 17th and was not played at Rowan University. The special opening match of the year instead was played at Rutgers-Camden versus Camden County. So it might as well have been a home game for Cumberland last year, and now this could be more neutral depending on how you want to slice it. I mean, this is about 15 minutes from the Sewell campus. And I could say give or take about 25 from Vineland. Or wherever the Cumberland County campus is, somewhere down there in the backwoods of Jersey. Tried to do a little bit too much that time. Almost lost possession. Cumberland still hanging on, though. Still ringing around the rosy this time. They go back behind midfield for Santiago. Now fires one to the right. Goes past Austin Donato, and it's out of play off the Rowan logo. So this is a dual-use field for both soccer and lacrosse at the Rowan Soccer Complex. And just beyond us in the over the head of Kevin Wall is the Rowan softball field, which is where we've seen a fantastic softball program for Rowan University. They made the Division III Collegiate World Series this year. One is knocked down. And now you've got a wall of Gloucestermen just getting all over that one Cumberland player there. And a good deflection by Gloucester to get that one out. This one's going to stay in, it looks like, for Barragan. He's going to play it, and it'll go right in front of the Gloucester sideline. Here comes another chance. Out towards the right side, shading with a lot of offensive room to run. See what he's got here. Straightaway shot, left side. Cumberland interjects, unable to get there. Another chance for, I believe that was Russell that time. The shot was made by Romeo, looking for his second goal of the evening. Now Romeo back at it again. Another save by Graham there. Cumberland looking to take it in stride, looking to cut this lead as they've been down by 3. There was a goal in the last minute of the first half and a goal in the first minute of the second half. A literal buzzer beater by Lewis at the end of the first. Shading to the left. Some more contact. Cumberland wants a call, Gloucester wants a call, and we've got a whistle. This broadcast is brought to you by DAWG Professional Wrestling, the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. They will be right here, not on this specific field, but they'll be at the Chamberlain Student Center for Rowan University on Saturday, August 30th, with the events and the first match starting at 9 p.m. So make sure you get your plan situated for Saturday and watch some nice professional wrestling here in South Jersey. And if your civic organization, school, club, charity, or other organization wants a little flair to their next outing, you can book DAWG Pro Wrestling for your next event and make it an event that nobody will want to forget. Visit their website, dawgprowrestling.com, for more information on how to book New Jersey's premier pro wrestling talents. Right side for Cumberland, still trying to hang on to this possession. Graham has it. Right side for Gloucester now, trying to drive. Had a brief outage for a second there. My apologies. Graham will send this one away. Again, this broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, 614 Lambs Road. And if your small business is interested in being an advertiser for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, it helps us cover college funds, equipment expenses, and travel costs associated with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you'd like to become a partner or a sponsor of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, send us an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That email's in the description of our YouTube videos, and we'd be happy to have you aboard. It's an affordable rate for all kinds of businesses and companies, and it's a way to get your business on the air in a unique fashion in front of over 100,000 annual viewers in South Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and the entire Northeast. Just taking a gander at the sunset overlooking Glassboro tonight. The pink and purple clouds. One of the last signs of summer is a very nice sunset. Out to the right side for Romeo. Out of Hamilton. Stopped by Huerta. And interjected by Gloucester again. Here comes another chance. A dive. One of the players not happy with a decision or an indecision, if that. And now another slide. Could we have a bag of Chips Ahoy on our hands? We'll see. They're going to stop the clock. And another yellow card will be issued. That is the fourth. I had a feeling that was gonna accumulate, and tensions were gonna rise a little bit there. But We do have 15:36 left in this one. One of the things that's going to be important for this game, and especially for those that are going to be looking at the clock, is that a new rule for this year is that in the last 15 minutes of a game in regulation, any substitution will be a stoppage of the clock. It used to be 5 minutes, and now it's going to be 15. And we're about 36 seconds from that. Okay, so a bit of a correction. I had it like 80% there, but it's only substitutions for the team that's leading. So in this case, it's RCSJ-Gloucester. And correct me if I'm wrong, Fred, if it's tied, then it's both. Okay, so in that case, if Gloucester makes any substitutions for the last 15 minutes of this one, once we hit 15:00, we'll have any substitutions stopping. Yeah, just a handful of new rules added this year, including a mercy rule for the first time, or at least the first time that I know of in the NJCAA. Obviously, I haven't been around here long enough to know of what rules existed 50 years ago, but neither does anybody in this booth. Right side, whiffed on it. Almost a goal by Kevin Huerta Rico out of Collingswood. Maybe he'll have another chance to attack the net versus Graham. Cumberland with the last line of defense, able to stop it. And there you go. So we'll have our clock stoppage with 14:28 remaining. And this will be a corner for number 5, Keegan Cisse. Missed that time. So clock resumes here as in the 75th minute of this one. Roadrunners lead at 4-1. Again, they resume action at home on Tuesday, September 9th versus the Harrisburg Hawks. And they'll, like we said, for the Roadrunners, 3 straight games on the road after this one, and their first real home game. This is a home game in the books, but the first one on the Roadrunner Athletic Complex will be on September 9th. They'll be away at Montgomery this Thursday, the 28th, and then away versus Mercer and Morris on the 3rd and 6th, respectively, and then 3 straight home games. Harrisburg on the 9th, Northampton on the 13th, Middlesex on the 16th. They're going to have another clock stoppage here. And we're going to have another card, this of the yellow variety. That is number 5 on the evening. We're going to have a penalty shot here, it looks like.
Did you see a number? No. Did you see the number? I think it's 7. Who got the yellow? I couldn't see his number. I can't see. I'll confirm him. We'll confirm it. All right.
Here we go. 1-on-1. Goal, Cumberland. They get one back. And that goal scored by number 20, Renee Barragan. And now a game that looked like it was solidly in the hands of the Roadrunners may not be. They still have 13 and a half minutes. And, of course, again, very different from the 8-2 route that we saw in September of 2024 from Cumberland.
Cumberland goal scored by number 20, Renee Barragan.
And some nice applause from the Cumberland faithful as they have cut this deficit to 2.
Time to goal, 77th minute.
Getting a little bit cooler now with the sun set here on Rowan University, but the sun has most certainly not set on this game. Like we said, 4-2. Roadrunners had a goal at the final second, if not the final second of the first half. And then they picked one up in the first minute of the second half. Haven't seen anything since from the Roadrunners, but now Cumberland kind of shakes everybody's boots and gets everybody going again with that goal from Barragan on the penalty shot there, as that was the 5th yellow card issued this evening. Still no reds have been issued, and I doubt that we'll see any unless things really go off the rails. If the game was 8-2 like it was last year, I could see that happening. But these guys just need to settle it for 12.5 minutes and they'll be fine. And Cumberland will need to get on their horse, though. Definitely, they need to be working efficiently and getting the goal 2 more times. That's just basic math for you. Out to the right for Santiago. Santiago lets it fly. Right side. Can't get that one too far. Looked like that was Matt Lilia again on the touch there. Popped up by Huerta Rico. Kevin Huerta Rico out of Collingswood. Out of the Colonial Conference. Right side again. A little ankle breaker that time. How about that? Good deception there. But now Cumberland still driving. And unable to get too much substance on that one. Still rolling to the right. They're on the far left side near the Cumberland sideline. It is out of play with a very quick throw in. Looks like it's probably going to be the first corner from this specific flag all night. Don't think we've seen any from this part of the park. As Cumberland scored their second goal on a PK, they'll look for number 3 on a corner this time. They have a little bit of space, but no momentum in front of the goal. Who's got it? Still deflected. Roadrunners come up with it. And Cumberland now with a lot of space for John Santiago. Excuse me, Joe Santiago. Couldn't get anything that time. And as you get closer to the final 10 minutes of this game, it's going to be more and more difficult to find good opportunities to score because the Roadrunners are, they're going to be on their version of a prevent defense in soccer where you're just going to be trying to, shut off all lanes, shut off any possibility for you to get even close to the goal because they've got the lead. They can do that. They're just trying to stave off as much time as possible here in the late going. Out to the left side, Wall lets this one fly over midfield, trailing to the left. Back to Romeo. Romeo has time. Cuts over the middle to Rico. Still on the right. More contact. Roadrunners not happy with a call there. Directing at the referee on the near flag. And we are going to stop the clock. Did somebody say the magic word or words is the question. Well, we're going to have a substitution. Oh, it looks like that was what it was. Okay. My apologies. Graham lets it fly. Got a lot of distance on it. Headed down. That's Jimmy Crowley, a freshman out of Camden Catholic. I was going to say, hadn't recognized him before, but definitely put himself in the center that time. Tried to make an impact on his first play after being subbed in here. Right side, trailing for Gloucester. Gets knocked down by Burnsteel, who cuts to the right. Tries to find a lane and unable to. Misses to the left of Wall. And as As you enter the final 9 minutes of play here this evening, it's going to be more and more difficult to find, again, good scoring opportunities. Because now the focus turns from scoring goals for the Roadrunners to not allowing goals for Cumberland. It sounds crazy, but that's how it is. Right side, got an opportunity here. It's up. It goes over the head of wall again. Could stay in play here if, let's see how this bout goes. Unable to get too much done, though. The Roadrunners, if anything, I would say limit the substitutions as much as possible. Because the more you stop the clock, again, the clock stops only for the team that is leading. So if Cumberland makes any substitutions and Gloucester doesn't, well, then the clock continues to run. But in this situation with under 15 minutes left, it's only the team that's leading, which in this case is Gloucester.
The referee can stop the clock if he feels it's a deliberate foul to try to delay time where they fake
Left side.
in the last 15 minutes.
Got tipped out of play. A very quick throw by Russell, trailing to the yellow line that time for Romeo. Now another chance to the right side, deflected out by Joe Santiago.
I think if they get a card, they should go in the penalty box for like 2 minutes and then play with one short. I'll take the mic with me and do any shed stuff that needs to be done. Yeah, we'll finish the clock.
Thrown in that time by number 9, Braden G., right down the road from RCSJ at Deptford High. They've also got a very passionate crew over there. We love covering Deptford boys soccer. Fantastic group over there in Group 3. Tipped up. Almost a good ball for Lewis, but unable to do so cleanly, as Joe Santiago, again, has been a thorn in the side of a lot of these Roadrunner attackers and forwards. He's just been really sticking it to the man tonight. As, again, a good crowd forming here. I mean, I wouldn't say it's forming. We've got 6 minutes left in the game, but a good crowd has been consistent. For most of the first half and most of the second half, the grandstands are mostly full, and we've got fans lining up on the railing, on the sideline. I mean, this is a much better crowd than we had last year. I'm very excited that this game came back to Rowan University this year to open up the season. It's a great way to get these programs some much-needed exposure. Another one sent to the heavens that time as it one hops and hits the grandstand. And it's going to bounce right back onto the field. That's convenient right there. We talk about the electronic trackers in the soccer ball. It auto-corrected itself that time. Got itself a lucky bounce back onto the field of play. We'll have a whistle.
That was so funny. That was pretty good.
So we're going to have 5 minutes and 38 seconds and counting. And again, Gloucester with a 2-goal lead would like to preserve that as much as possible. They already had their lead threatened once with a penalty kick goal in the 77th minute from Renee Barragan. Right side for Huerta for Cumberland. Another stop by Barragan that time, who again normally in this case would be, you know, back of the midfield or even on the defensive side, but now playing a little bit more of a prominent role now with that goal in his name. Goes back to Russell. Gloucester keeping it on the ground, but interjected by Huerta. Keeping it in play will be Lewis, who had that buzzer beater goal quite literally in the tail end of the first half. Cumberland has it, but they've got to get out of their own rut here as it goes back to Romeo. Cumberland sends this one back to Graham. We're going to have a whistle here right at the end.
I did not have the shield. Haven't seen the shield.
Cumberland with a kick, left side. Over to Diaz. Gloucester hangs on to the possession.
Yeah, he's going to take it to the corner and kill some time.
3 minutes, 30 seconds. 2-goal lead for Gloucester as they look to go up 1-0 on the season in their opening matchup here versus Cumberland. This one is flared, headed, it got past Wall, and did he save it? Is it going to count? I'm not sure. No. They're saying that was in. Or no. Well, they didn't call it in, but it looked like that Kevin Wall might have scooped it out a little bit too late, and he might have gotten away with that one there. Wow. Cumberland beside themselves on the sideline with the final 3 minutes of the game. Now Gloucester with a chance, and they flare it way out of there onto the parking lot. Wow. That was something special that time. And they're going to kill the clock with 2:31. So this will be sent by Graham. Still out of play as they're going to try to waste some time here. Let's take a very quick look. They will stop the clock again for substitutions. While we have that time, let's take a look at that replay real quick of this potential goal. You could see it gets past Wall, and let's freeze frame it. That is over the line, and that very much should have been a Cumberland goal. Let's take a look at it one more time. Actually, no, they're going to go back to play here. So that was the freeze frame, though. It looked like not only was the ball over the line, pretty much half of Kevin Wall's body was over the line as well. Another one deflected out of play as we enter the final 100 seconds of this one. Gloucester would improve to obviously 1-0 with the win. Cumberland would fall to 0-1 after a 4-9-2 campaign in 2024. And this would be, oh, hold on. We're going to have another clock stoppage, and I believe we're going to have our 6th card of the night. It's going to be on number 15. They'll try to settle this with 1:22 remaining. So that's been 6 total yellows. More than a NASCAR race at Talladega. We've got 6 of them tonight. And we'll now see, looking like they're going to line up for a good shot here to try to bury this one for the Roadrunners. Let's see what they've got in store. They lead 4-2. They have not scored. They have not scored, since the first minute of the second half. Minute number 46 tonight. Here we go. Blocked by Cumberland. Stays in the air long enough for them to get a good ball advancement that time. Cumberland will take this one. Right at midfield. Roadrunners have possession. They might just try to, they're indeed just going to try to waste some time here, up by 2. So as we enter the final 45 seconds, it's the Derby Cup between the Gloucester Roadrunners and the Cumberland Dukes. And for the 5th straight year, it looks like, unless anything crazy happens, that we are going to have the blue and white of the Roadrunners hoisting the Derby Cup once again. After a convincing 8-2 win last year in a game that was held at Cumberland County Tech, their soccer complex, this game a lot more doable, a lot more fair, and honestly, a lot less chippy. And that's saying something considering we still have had 6 yellow cards tonight. They will send this one as far as they can go. Cumberland looking for one last dance, and the clock hit 0. And once again, 5 years in a row, 5 years unchallenged, the Roadrunners of Gloucester have won the 2025 Derby Cup, and this time they do it to kick off their season with a 4-2 win over Cumberland. As Mike Wolverton is down on the field. So they will have their trophy presentation. We will stick around for that as some of the fans filing out on the Cumberland side. Final score 4-2 tonight. Honestly, it's hard to decide who the player of the game is. I feel like it's got to go to Justin Lewis. I mean, he had that goal at the very, very end of the first half. Maybe 44 minutes and 59 seconds. I mean, he literally might have gotten that goal in the final second of the first half. Incredible stuff there, but he's going to get our player of the game honors tonight. Had some great footwork on offense and also felt like he was a little bit of a two-way player. Was able to pull off a lot of good moves in the defensive side as well. And he's going to get your player of the game honors tonight, again, presented by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. So we will try to make this short. We're going to get the trophy presentation, and then we'll be out of here so that our good friend Fred can pack this up and everybody can go home. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you on Thursday for opening night of the 2025 football season between the Cumberland Colts and the Clearview Pioneers from Riordan Field in Mullica Hill. Have a good night, folks.